Hello, this is my first time doing this. Hello, I'm Leia. I am a solo backpacker, remote marketer, someone who's usually booking $12 a night hostels or catching buses that may or may not show up. Yeah, I am a backpacker to the core. But once a year, my job flies me out on a luxurious retreat, and suddenly I am sipping wine in a 5-star hotel, having guides organize my trip, and having private tours to amazing places. These are two very different ways of traveling, and in my opinion, they lead to very different outcomes. Which one is better though? Today I'm letting you in on my real life with a Boujee versus backpack day vlog in Malta. Let's start with the Boujee day. So I woke up at the Hilton hotel in a big cozy bed that I didn't have to climb into. I went straight to breakfast. They had everything you could want on the station, full salad bar, an actual honeycomb, and a full mimosa station that I only saw on the last day though. A heartbreak. But in general, so obsessed. Since our day didn't start until the afternoon that day, I decided to go and run out and grab a few things that I forgot to pack. Because apparently I packed like I never packed before. It was actually my mom's birthday the same day I flew out, and I had a super fun brunch plan. Champagne was flowing and I hadn't really finished packing. So yeah, like 20 minutes before I had to go to the airport, I was just like fully tipsy. I was just shoving random things into my bag and hoping for the best. Shockingly, I forgot a bunch of things. Okay, once I got back, I had one mission, and that was to start my tanning process. It was absolutely necessary. And my hotel had an option, like we had one massive pool, another infinity pool facing the sea, a gym, a spa, like honestly I had everything. Not that I'm gonna use it, but in general, I love to have them there. So I just laid out at the pool until it was time for me to go. Now pickup was at 3 p.m. and usually we'd get around in these minivans, but today they surprised us with this vintage bus from 1950s. And they drove us straight to Valletta, which is Malta's capital, but it's not giving like big city energy like you would expect from a capital. There's no skyscrapers, there's no traffic. It's like a small, golden, 500 years old city, which feels like a movie set. Makes sense because a bunch of movies were shot there, like Game of Thrones, Gladiator, Troy, you know, all the ones with the swords. Now, our guides took us to St. John's Cathedral, and apparently this place gets like thousands of visitors a day, and somehow we had it all to ourselves. So, okay guys, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of architecture. I'm sorry. More of a nature person, but this was actually seriously impressive. I'd actually recommend taking the time to go and see it. We were then surprised with these little boats waiting for us. Obviously, it was all planned perfectly to happen right at sunset. They took us across the harbor to 3 cities. They brought us to the museum where we were told we'd be having a 200-year-old Maltese dinner, as in the kind of food people would have actually been eating back then. We kicked things off with wine made using traditional methods from back then. Then we sat down for a full 4-course meal. It was honestly so cool. I've always wanted to do like a proper culinary experience like this, so I loved it. After dinner, we waited for our minivans and headed back to the hotel. And this was my Boujee day in Malta. Private tours, fancy accommodations, wine pairing, 200-year-old dinners, you know, the basics. Honestly, it felt curated and very unreal. Now let's get back to reality, shall we? This is where we cue the downgrade. Things are about to feel very different because tomorrow I have to leave the Hilton and take my backpack carrying ass all the way to a hostel. No more guides, no more plans, just me and my backpack and a lot of improv. Since the first half of the trip was super organized, I decided to spend the other half of the trip the complete opposite. I was thinking I'll probably visit the things I hadn't seen with the group, or visit again the places that I really loved, or just improv. Obviously the next day I had to stretch the hotel for as long as I could. If you don't do this, you really should. I always ask for a late checkout when I'm staying at a big fancy hotel, and usually they'll give it to you. The Hilton era was over, guys. I actually had to go back to backpacking and being in hostels and stuff. But I was actually really happy to not have to follow a schedule. The next day I asked for late checkout and laid by the pool a bit before heading to my hostel at around 3 p.m. I checked into my hostel, the CS... Okay, this hostel was actually insane though. Honestly, I was kind of hoping to meet someone and maybe go out. I'd literally been staying next to Paceville, one of the wildest party streets, and hadn't even touched it once. Okay, and when I tell you, I had no plans, I hadn't met anyone, but for some reason I just started getting ready like I was going out. And cue the love of my life. Our new friend! Welcome, Victoria. She's Irish. And when I tell you, we were meant to be friends, okay? She had a rude-ass roommate the day before and was just hopelessly looking for a normal person. And I had a bottle of wine that I needed to drink. I love, love, love her. She was actually staying in my room and we spent the next 4 days together doing such fun things around Malta. So Victoria loves Malta. This was her second time here and she actually was able to show me all the good spots. So I didn't even have to do anything. Guys, I promise I will show you a full backpacker's day, but I did want to introduce you to Victoria first and not just have her magically appear. But for now, I'll quickly show you what we got up to that night, and then I'll show you the next day to give you a full backpacker's day. Okay? I'm just giving you extra here, okay? We started at Bellini's, where you get the cheapest shots, like 72 shots for 35 euros, and somehow ended up getting massages from 2 Italian men. I don't know, okay? Then we hit Havana, Tokyo, and probably way more, but I couldn't tell you. There's no memory and it's absolutely not my responsibility. Poor backpacker trip, okay? You go on the strip a very boring day, like a Wednesday, collect all the free drink tickets, and then come back on a Friday or Saturday when it's really busy and it's worth it, and you get all your free drinks for the entire night. Honestly, I probably couldn't tell you how we got back to our room. And Victoria made me walk home. How? Next morning, Victoria lost her 50-euro key to the room.
Did you lose your key?
Yeah.
Why don't you find it?
No, I'm just kidding, she found it. Okay, let's get into the backpacker's day. We booked a catamaran for like 25 euros to get us to Camino Island and back. So this place was stunning, guys. I love Camino, I'd go back again. This is the kind of place I go to do nothing, just tan and vibe all day. So it's really all about the location. So if I were to do it again, I probably wouldn't even take the $25 catamaran. I would probably go cheaper with the 15-euro ferry. And obviously, we missed our ferry back. But my girl pulled through. She found us a later boat for like 13 euros. So it all worked out in the end. We actually got to enjoy a bit more of Camino. Also, I had been meaning to film this reel using the Aquamarine audio, and we finally did it. But tell me why most people in Europe hasn't seen or heard of this iconic girly pop movie, Aquamarine. It is so good. So obviously after filming this reel, I had to put Victoria on because it was just like unacceptable that she had never seen the movie. So we took the boat back, grabbed our Uber back to our place, ordered takeout, and we watched Aquamarine with takeout all night. That's the end of our backpack day. So yeah. 2 completely different ways of traveling, and honestly, they both hit in their own way. The Boujee way, on top of the better conditions, obviously, your tour guides actually help you learn a lot more about the history of where you're looking, of where you're visiting. You could be in the same place as a backpacker and simply enjoy the views and how it looks, the beauty of the place without really needing all the information behind it. The aspect of backpacking is really relaxing and slow. No groups to follow. On the other side though, to get to that beautiful relaxed time, you go through frantically planning your day, like at the last minute or the day of. Probably hangover with some people you just met yesterday in a random place that you're calling home for one night. Backpacking, chaotic? Yeah, absolutely. But it's unpredictable, and unpredictable leaves space for possibilities. Possibilities of meeting lifelong friends, possibilities of finding hidden gems or possibilities of an adventure. Do I love both? Obviously. Could I travel as one without the other? Probably not. I like a good balance of both, and that's really who I am, a backpacker with a job, with somewhat of a budget, who's interested in meeting people and in the culture that I'm exploring, someone who's down to splurge sometimes, also happy with street food and a bunk bed, as long as the vibes are right. Also, this is my first video, so if you made it this far, thank you so much. Please subscribe, all that jazz, Thank you.